Kane. Hello and welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be watching what many consider to be the greatest movie of all time. Like, I'm pretty sure it's the #1 movie on the IMDb top 250, and I mean, it's got to be a good movie to be able to be at #1 on that list, so let's go ahead and check it out. This is The Shawshank Redemption. Mr. Krabs? Mr. Krabs is in the movie. Okay, so I know this is like a prison movie. Shawshank Redemption is like the prison name. I guess this is how he gets to prison.
She said she was glad I knew, that she hated all the sneaking around. She said she wanted a divorce in Reno.
So he killed his wife because she was sleeping around on him?
Dragged that river for 3 days and nary a gun was found. So there could be no comparison made between your gun and the bullets taken from the blood-stained corpses of the victims.
Is that gun a .38? I don't know. I can't tell the caliber at a glance.
We have bullets strewn on the ground which bear his fingerprints, the broken bourbon bottle, likewise with fingerprints, and most of all, we have a beautiful young woman and her lover lying dead in each other's arms.
I mean, to be honest, if I was in his shoes, I probably would have gone through with it. I don't stand with cheating, and yeah, don't cheat on your significant others. Also, I guess don't murder people either, but still.
An extra bullet per lover, right in the head.
Well, f*** him.
I hereby order you to serve 2 life sentences back to back. 1 for each of your victims. So be it.
I think at one point there was a law in Texas where if you found your, like, wife in bed with another man and you killed them both, you wouldn't get thrown in jail for that. Like, it was legal to kill your spouse if you caught them in the act of infidelity. I think that was actually true in, like, the 50s, in Texas at least.
There must be a con like me in every prison in America. I'm the guy who can get it for you. Cigarettes, a bag of reefer, if that's your thing.
How? Like, how do they get that connection in prison? Doesn't seem like much, but this is actually a really cool shot. Taking off from the car, going over the prison and seeing all the people there in one shot. Especially for, what, the 90s, the 80s that this movie came out? They all have, like, little hats on. Are those just, like, issued by the prison when they get there as well? Is it part of their like prison uniform or whatever? Oh, he's got a tummy gun. Yeah, he's a wise guy, I guess, eh?
You speak English, butt steak? You follow this officer.
I guess they come in with those hats.
All right, who's your horse?
That little sack of shit. 8. 8 from the front. He'll be first.
Oh, bullshit. I'll take that action.
Well, Haywood, you're so smart, you call it.
I'll take the chubby fat ass there, the 5th one from the front.
What are they betting on? Who'll, like, break first? Goddamn. What'd they say his name was? Tim Robbins' character. He is so much taller than everybody else in there.
Any questions? When do we eat?
That was rhetorical. That was a rhetorical question.
You eat when we say you eat. You shit when we say you shit, and you piss when we say you piss. You got that, you maggot dick motherfucker?
Clancy Brown would make a great prison guard or, like, drill instructor. He seems like he could have that sort of quick wit, insult heavy type of dialogue. Clancy Brown seems to nail. Has he ever been a drill instructor in, like, a movie? He would nail it.
You Allison. Turn around.
That. Having powder on me like that, I couldn't stand it.
Somebody always breaks down crying. Happens every time.
Yeah, okay, so that's what they were betting on.
It's as good a thing to bet on as any, I guess.
Poke your ass out, give me a first look.
The boys always go fishing with first-timers.
Is that why they call them fish? Just because try and fish them into crying or breaking or whatever?
I know a couple of big old bull queers that just love to make your acquaintance. Especially that big white mushy butt of yours.
God, I don't belong here.
Ah, that didn't take him long. I'd probably be the first one to break. I wouldn't survive in prison. I'm too cute. And I'm also such a bitch.
What the Christ is this happy horse shit?
He took the Lord's name in vain. I'm telling the water.
You'll be telling him with my baton up your ass. Son of a bitch.
Excessive. Overkill. God damn. Rough first night. Oh. Ew, maggot.
Are you going to eat that?
Hadn't planned on it.
Do you mind?
Oh, God. Ew. Old man like maggots?
That's nice and ripe.
Just been in here so long he's crazy or something? Oh. Okay, I wasn't expecting a bird in his jacket. I thought he was gonna eat it because he was senile.
How's that horse of mine doing anyway?
Dead. Hadley busted his head up pretty good.
That was a pretty brutal beatdown.
Hey, we all need friends in here. I could be a friend to you.
Don't drop the soap. Basic joke, I know, but still.
Everybody in here is innocent. Did you know that? Hey, what you in here for?
Didn't do it. Lawyer me.
Sisters have taken quite a liking to you. Especially Boggs.
Don't suppose it would help any if I explained to them I'm not homosexual.
Bull queers take by force. That's all they want or understand. But if I were you, I'd grow eyes in the back of my head.
Thanks for the advice.
He's very calm about being told, hey, they wanna.
But this is a specialty item. Risk goes up, price goes up. Let's make it an even $10.
How do they have $10? And what do they use the $10? What is he gonna use $10 on? You know, like they don't have cash on them, right? I don't know how the prison system works. I've never been there. Knock on wood.
Move it! Cut! Move it!
So it's like a whole network of signals, and it's in that wink wink type thing. But how does Morgan Freeman set this up, you know? Be all like when he got there, like be like, hey, laundryman, you get stuff for me. What's in for the laundry? I'm asking too many questions. It's just yeah. I guess it's just meant to show like, oh, look at the business aspect of this. The prison world is interesting. Oh. Well, you can't have a prison movie without this aspect of it. Oh.
That's it. You fight. Better that way.
I wish I could tell you that Andy fought the good fight, and the sisters let him be. But prison is no fairy tale world. He never said who did it. That was his routine.
Jeez.
I do believe those first 2 years were the worst for him.
2 years of that. Oh.
It was outdoor detail. Wouldn't you know it? Me and some fellows I know were among the names called.
Goddamn, he's really connected.
Your brother died a rich man. Oil wells and shit. Close to $1 million.
Jeez Louise, you gonna see any of that?
35,000. That's what he left me. What do you think the government's gonna do to me? Take a big wet bite out of my ass is what?
What a pessimist.
Maybe enough to buy a new car, and then what? I gotta pay tax on the car. Repair, maintenance, goddamn kid.
This guy's got no joy in his life. It's like, oh, I could buy this thing, but oh, all this other stuff.
Hey!
Jeez.
Mr. Hadley, Do you trust your wife?
He's not the kind of guy to say that to.
What I mean is, do you think she'd go behind your back, try to hamstring you?
You need to get to your point faster, dude.
Because if you do trust her, there's no reason you can't keep that 35,000.
See, that's what you start. That's what you start with.
I suppose I could set it up for you. That would save you some money. You get the forms, I'll prepare them for you.
And that's how it came to pass. Wound up sitting in a row at 10 o'clock in the morning, drinking icy cold Bohemia-style beer.
He is a smart banker.
Want a cold one, Andy?
No, thanks. Gave up drinking.
Oh. Yeah, he said like the night his wife was killed, he went to a few bars, so he probably was like, yeah, no more drinking again after that.
Why'd you do it?
I'm innocent, Red. Just like everybody else here.
I mean, you have to ask why he did it. Isn't it known to them that it was like, well, maybe they don't know. They just know he killed his wife. Maybe they don't know that she was sleeping around. Andy was here.
That's when she does that shit with her hair.
Oh, yeah, I know. I've seen it 3 times this month.
Gilda, are you decent?
Me?
What do you want?
Rita Hayworth.
What?
Can you get her?
Take a few weeks.
Weeks?
Well, yeah, Andy. I don't have her stuffed down in front of my pants right now, I'm sorry to say.
Ain't you gonna scream?
Good luck.
Let's get this over with.
Jesus. That's the power of movies.
Now.
Oh, yeah. He's got a shank. Shawshank Redemption.
You're gonna swallow what I give you to swallow.
Anything you put in my mouth, you're gonna lose.
You do that, and I'll put all 8 inches of the steel in your ear.
But you should know that sudden serious brain injury causes the victim to bite down hard. They have to pry the victim's jaws open with a crowbar.
Boggs didn't put anything in Andy's mouth, and neither did his friends. What they did do is beat him within an inch of his life.
Small victories, I guess. Oh, now how the turntables. He does love beating up prisoners, Mr. Krabs.
Help!
You kind of deserve it, dude.
The sisters never laid a finger on Andy again. And Boggs never walked again.
And you can't say that wasn't well deserved. I mean, he did make, what's his name? Mr. Krabs. He made Mr. Krabs money, so might as well protect him, I guess. Oh, I wouldn't mind having that on my prison wall.
Okay, look alive. When all tears.
Heads up. Toss in the cells. Heads up. Toss in the cells.
We would occasionally have things like this in boot camp where they just go through your Foot Locker and dump it, trying to find anything weird. I know one guy had like peanut butter packets from the chow hall in his Foot Locker, which, you know, you're not allowed to take chow out of the chow hall.
Pleased to see you reading this. Any favorite passages?
Watch ye therefore, for ye know not when the master of the house cometh.
I hate to deprive you of this. Salvation lies within.
That's called foreshadowing.
Brooks, how long have you been librarian?
Oh, I come here in '05, and they made me librarian in 1912.
Damn, so he came in 05, and it's at least like 1950. He's been there for like nearly half a century.
I'm Deacons. I was thinking about maybe setting up some kind of trust fund for my kids' educations.
So he's gonna be like a free, what's that word? like a consultant for like these things, I guess.
I'll write a letter a week. They can't ignore me forever.
Sure can. But you write your letters if it makes you happy.
Writing the Senate or Congress or whatever. I already forgot what he said he was writing. Nowadays, you just tweet at them, and you would do it every hour on the hour.
The following April, Andy did tax returns for half the guards at Shawshank. Year after that, they rescheduled the start of the intramural season to coincide with tax season.
I mean, I guess when it gets around that, hey, free service like this, that would probably be expensive.
It's Brooks.
Please, Brooks, just calm the f down, will you?
Come on.
Whoa. He snapped.
Brooks, you're not gonna hurt Haywood. We all know that. Even Haywood knows that, right, Haywood?
Sure. I know that, sir.
He's bleeding.
It's the only way they'd let me stay.
Come on, this is crazy. You don't want to do this. Come on.
I come in here to say fare thee well. Ain't you heard his parole come through?
Ooh. Is that not good, though?
The man's been in here 50 years, Haywood. 50 years. This is all he knows. Outside, he's nothing.
So he'd rather just stay in there? I mean, 50 years. Ugh.
They send you here for life. That's exactly what they take. Part that counts, anyway.
You're free. You're free.
No. Crows are really smart, too. You probably could have taken them with you. Yeah, there's been 2 world wars since he was last free, now that I think about it. 1905.
I have trouble sleeping at night. I wake up scared. Sometimes it takes me a while to remember where I am.
Yeah. I gotta imagine you waking up in the same spot for 50 years. It's like, it's something you can't even really imagine unless you've been in that sort of situation.
I'm tired of being afraid all the time. I've decided not to stay.
Oh, guys, you know, he's... No. I just... Okay. I realized it, like, 5 seconds before. Wow, that sent a chill up my spine.
In response to your repeated inquiries, the state has allocated the enclosed funds for your library project. This is $200. In addition, the library... We now consider the matter closed. Please stop sending us letters.
He annoyed them into sending $200.
It only took 6 years.
Jesus. 6 years.
From now on, I'll write 2 letters a week instead of 1.
I believe you're crazy enough.
Wow. How many letters is that? 52 times 6? 312 letters? I never understood the spend as much time as you can on the toilet when you're taking a shit. I'm always in, out. But then again, he's at work, so boss makes $1, I make a dime. That's why you poop on company time. Oh. Just a little celebration, I guess, for everyone. He's riding high. I feel bad for this guard, actually, because he was cool with him, he was friendly, and now he's gonna get in so much trouble.
Andy? Andy?
I have no idea to this day what
poor
those
guard.
2 Italian ladies were singing about.
I feel bad for him. He was a nice guy. He might get fired.
It was like some beautiful bird flapped into our drab little cage and made those walls dissolve away. And for the briefest of moments, every last man at Shawshank felt free.
And he's been doing that a lot for them. He's making them feel free, like with the beers.
I am warning you, Dufresne. Turn that off!
His face.
That's the beauty of music. They can't get that from you.
I played a mean harmonica as a younger man. Didn't make much sense in here.
Here's where it makes the most sense.
The cliche thing of a harmonica in prison.
That they can't get to, that they can't touch. It's yours.
What are you talking about?
Hope.
The value of the human spirit.
Hope can drive a man insane. It's got no use on the inside. You better get used to that idea.
Like Brooks did?
They've both got a point. But yeah, that might have been a bit too soon, Andy.
Says here that you served 30 years of life sentence. You feel you've been rehabilitated?
So it's been 10 years now.
No danger to society here. God's honest truth. Absolutely rehabilitated.
Denied. Yeah. I feel like if you use the term, I'm rehabilitated, it automatic like rejection in that situation.
Little parole rejection present. Go ahead and open it. You gonna play it?
Not right now.
What they were talking about, like hope and stuff. So he won't play it because he doesn't have hope anymore. Ooh. That Marilyn Monroe scene. People think that scene was an accident, but bit of movie trivia, it wasn't. It was a planned bit. In fact, there were even bleachers behind the cameras so people could buy tickets to watch it be filmed. A little bit of hope. A little bit. Just.
Appropriations Committee voted an annual payment of $500.
Wow.
Just to shut him up.
Annual payments.
Treasure Island, Robert Louis
Stevenson. I do that.
Fiction, adventure.
I read that book in high school. Well, I said I read the book. I read the wiki page and did a report on it.
You know what that's about? You like it. It's about a prison break.
Well, we ought to file that on the educational, too. That was also the year Warden Norton instituted his famous Inside Out program. You may remember reading about it.
Inside Out? That's a Pixar movie. You can't fool me, movie. I need to watch that one. There's a sequel coming out soon. Inside Out, I mean, not for Shawshank.
Will be put to work outside these walls, performing all manner of public service.
That's a good idea. Do they do that for prisons? You know, you technically have free sort of labor, you know? Building infrastructure like this seems like a good idea.
I need this new highway contract. I don't get it, and I go under. That's a fact. I'll just have some of this fine pie my missus made specially for you. And think about that.
And behind every shady deal, behind every dollar earned, there was Andy, keeping the books.
Cooking the books, more like it. So it's like money laundering and taking bribes, really.
I send that money out into the real world, and when it comes back...
Clean as a virgin's honey powder.
Cleaner.
Do you think it was easier back then to do this without a digital print everywhere? It had to be, right? But it wasn't as fast as we have it today. Like nowadays, you could just buy stocks through an app, but back then, had to mail it, right?
It's gonna lead to somebody.
Sure it is, but not to me. And certainly not to the warden.
All right, who?
Randall Stevens. He doesn't exist, except on paper. Mr. Stevens has a birth certificate, driver's license, social security number.
You're shitting me.
Jesus, that's crazy. How? Like, how could you... I mean, it's back in the 50s at this point, so... But a birth certificate and a social security card.
On the outside, I was an honest man, straight as an arrow. I had to come to prison to be a crook.
That's a good line. This movie has a lot of good lines. I can see why a lot of people love this movie. There's not really... It's just prison life for these guys, but it's charming in a way, you know?
Tommy Williams came to Shawshank in 1965 on a
Oh, it's the 60s now, not even the 50s.
So I'm backing out the door, right? And I got the TV like this. Suddenly, here's his voice. Freeze, kid. Hands in the air. You hear what I said, boy? I say, yes, sir. I sure did. But if I drop this thing, you got me on destruction of property, too.
I'm more impressed with that he was able to carry a TV by himself. I mean, I grew up in the 90s, and even those TVs, you needed like 2 people to move it.
What are you in for?
Me? Lawyer, me. Everybody's innocent in here. Don't you know that?
He's all with the routine now.
Just thinking maybe trying for my high school equivalency here. You helped a couple fellows with that. Thing is, he, don't read so good.
Well.
Well.
I'm educated.
It was the same reason he spent years shaping and polishing those rocks. The same reason he hung his fantasy girlies on the wall.
God damn, he's almost done. Basically is. He's missing like 3 pieces. That was a nice chest set too.
By 1966, right about the time Tommy was getting ready to take his exams, it was lovely Raquel.
Never seen that movie either, but you know about the, what's it called? The bikini? The cave woman bikini, something, I don't know.
Caught his wife in bed with some golf pro. Greased them both. What?
I say to him, I say, yeah, Elmo, who'd you kill? So he says,
I got me this job one time, bussing tables at a country club.
Oh.
So I could case all these big, rich pricks that come in.
This is the guy that actually killed his wife? I never even considered like, oh yeah, he didn't do it, because I just figured he didn't do it. I didn't think we'd actually get what actually happened.
So I killed him. Him and this tasty bitch he was with. But she's married to some other guy. Some hotshot banker. And he's the one they pinned it on.
Damn, he learned all that, all the details of that shit. Also, God, the coincidence of going to another prison and finding the guy he's talking about. That's, the Lord sent that.
You think he'd just fall to his knees and cry, yes, I did it, I confess. Oh, and by the way, add a life term to my sentence.
You know that wouldn't matter. With Tommy's testimony, I can get a new trial.
Well, that's assuming Blatch is even still there.
I mean, still look into it.
How can you be so obtuse?
Yeah.
What did you call me?
Obtuse? Is it deliberate?
If you want to indulge this fantasy, that's your business. Don't make it mine.
Why? Just look into it, like...
I'd be just as indictable as you for laundering that money.
Don't you ever mention money to me again, you sorry son of a bitch.
Yeah, of course.
Solitary, a month.
Yes, sir. Hi.
They were being pretty chill, and now he's... He should have spun that differently, like, if I got out, like, I could work here. You know, it's my actual job, but... Greed is one of the 7 deadly sins, Warden. Read your Bible. In my experience, those that pretend to be the most virtuous are often the most untrustworthy.
The kid passed. C+ average. Thought you'd like to know.
Is that all the food they get? A couple slices of bread and, I'm guessing, water. A cup of water. Ugh. I mean, Andy, you could just write a letter to the appeals court or whatever. A letter, 1 letter a week, 2 letters, 3 letters a week.
Warden wants to talk.
Warden?
Tommy?
This isn't gonna go well. Reds, I used to smoke those. Yeah, he's dead. Final cigarette thing, you know?
If I'm gonna move on this, there can't be the least little shred of doubt. I have to know if what you told Dufresne was the truth.
I don't trust it. Yep. What an asshole. Why? Like, he made you just help him get out. Like, he can come work for you. But, Jesus, now you're killing witnesses and shit. That's such a pointless, like, it is literally pointless to do that.
I'm done.
Oh. He's bleeding.
Everything stops. Get someone else to run your scams.
Is that what, like, deprivation does to you for that long? Like, being in the dark like that?
I'll pull you out of that one bunk, Hilton, and cast you down with the sodomites. You'll think you've been f***ed by a train. Or am I being obtuse?
You just didn't even know what the word meant, and you got so pissed off about it. He really, like, was like, all right, time for main villain activation
Another
mode.
month to think about it.
Jesus. I thought Mr. Krabs was gonna be like the big bad guy, but the Warden's like 10 times worse. He just doesn't hurt him. It's like Vader to Palpatine, I guess. I want Andy just to hit him. You know those characters that you really want to see just get punched in the face?
Feel bad about it if you want to, but you didn't pull the trigger.
No, I didn't. Somebody else did. And I wound up in here.
I didn't even talk about that. Yeah, he's like actually innocent, like they were saying. 20 years you have to rot in prison. It still happens today a lot of the time. Innocent people get sentenced to prison.
Whatever mistakes I made, I paid for them and then some. That hotel, that boat, I don't think that's too much to ask.
I don't think you ought to be doing this to yourself, Andy. It's just shitty pipe dreams.
That's called foreshadowing.
I guess it comes down to a simple choice, really. Get busy living, or get busy dying.
Get busy living, or get busy dying. I've heard that before.
Base of that wall, you'll find a rock that has no earthly business in a Maine hayfield. A piece of black, volcanic glass. There's something buried under it I want you to have.
That was weird.
Andy come down to the loading dock today. He asked me for a length of rope.
Rope?
6 feet long.
And he'd never do that.
Every man has his breaking point.
We split. Want to get home?
No.
Just about finished, sir.
Oh, is he gonna like strangle the Warden? He gave a look right there. They're all alone.
It's good having you back, Andy. Place wasn't the same without you.
Little shit. Okay, so I guess he's not gonna kill the Warden. I also don't think he's gonna himself either. I don't think he's gonna do what they're implying that he's gonna do, but I'm nervous about it though, because maybe he'll escape, actually. Maybe he just needed the rope to escape.
Don't make me come down there, I'll thump your skull for you.
He's dead or gone. Yeah, he's gone.
Oh, my holy God.
He's gone. He escaped. He was looking around the cell. You wouldn't do that if he was just hanging there.
This is a conspiracy. That's what this is. One big damn conspiracy! And everyone's in on it!
Warden needs to stay off Twitter. Yeah, he tunneled his way out.
I remember thinking it would take a man 600 years to tunnel through the wall with it. Old Andy did it in less than 20.
Damn, that was a big chunk. Cause yeah, he wanted the poster after the rock carving. I don't know if I would have the patience for something like this. I'd just be nervous about it constantly every day, I guess.
Turns out, Andy's favorite hobby was toting his wall out into the exercise yard. A handful at a time. I guess after Tommy was killed.
I've seen so many parodies of this scene, actually. Like, Recess. The old, like, Disney show Recess, they had something similar where they were, like, trying to find treasure and they were moving dirt secretly in their pockets. Like, I've seen parodies. It's all, like, so familiar watching it now.
The guard simply didn't notice. Neither did I. I mean, seriously. How often do you really look at a man's shoes?
Lucky. That's a bit of film trickery, though, because I kind of wish they had shown, like, a full thing of him walking to see if any of the audience could recognize the shoes, you know? But what did he need the rope for, then? Oh, okay. To keep his stuff in a bag tied around him so he doesn't lose it. Okay. Could you really break through a metal pipe with a rock like that? Oh, ew, it's a sewage pipe too. Of course it is. Ugh.
Andy crawled to freedom through 500 yards of shit-smelling foulness I can't even imagine.
Oh, God.
Or maybe I...
And crawling. Do you know how long it takes to crawl? Oh, and what if you went the wrong way? Oh, I can't. I have, like, claustrophobia when it comes to that stuff. It's probably like the first time he's felt rain in decades.
He had all the proper ID, driver's license, birth certificate, social security card, and the signature was a spot-on match. All told, he blew town with better than $370,000 of Warden Norton's money. Severance pay for 19 years.
He got reparations for that. Severance, whatever.
Good morning, Portland Daily Bugle.
Oh. Damn. Andy did so much through mail. He made a person, he laundered hundreds of thousands of dollars, and he's like taking down the warden just with mail. You were right, salvation lay within. That is like the most ironic, clever thing I've ever heard.
You have the right to remain silent. If you give up the right to remain silent, anything you say can and will be held against you in a court of law.
I wasn't there to see it, but I hear Byron Hadley started sobbing like a little girl when they took him away.
Make it easy on yourself, Sergeant.
Good. Coward.
I like to think the last thing that went through his head
Was a bullet.
Other than that bullet.
Oh.
Andy Dufresne, who crawled through a river of shit and came out clean on the other side.
And he's good. He's just Randall Stevens now. Birth certificate, social security number, driver's license. Randall Stevens. I just realized, is this the movie that started the whole Morgan Freeman narrates everything? Because he's been narrating throughout the whole movie. I just haven't really picked up on it until right now.
Your files say you've served 40 years of a life sentence. You feel you've been rehabilitated?
You know, I don't have any idea what that means.
Well, it means you're ready to rejoin society.
I know what you think it means, Sonny.
Sonny.
I look back on the way I was then. A young, stupid kid who committed that terrible crime. I want to talk to him. I want to try to talk some sense to him. Tell him the way things are. That kid's long gone, and this old man is all that's left.
See, that's what's going to get it. You just talk to your younger self.
You go on and stamp your form, Sonny, and stop wasting my time. Because to tell you the truth, I don't give a shit.
Officially reached that I'm too old for this shit type age. Yep, figured. Do you think people that saw this movie tried memorizing that speech for the parole board when they were in prison or something? Do you think the parole people have heard that exact speech from people trying to like get out, you know? Probably. Damn, the exact same room.
All I want is to be back where things make sense. Where I won't have to be afraid all the time.
That's so messed up, though. It's like, I want to go back to prison so I'm not afraid all the time. Ooh. There's a harmonica in the soundtrack here. That's not a coincidence. Ooh. Why can't I ever find something like that whenever I'm searching around in fields? Sure, I haven't done that in a while, but when I was a kid, I searched in fields all the time.
Dear Red, if you're reading this...
Oh, so he did this after the prison. Of course he would have had to do this after the prison.
Hope is a good thing. Maybe the best of things. And no good thing ever dies.
I imagine Red must have had quite a bit of money, too, though, from all of his dealing, you know? He's getting things for people.
Get busy living or get busy dying. That's goddamn right.
So is Red.
I hope I can make it across the border. I hope to see my friend and shake his hand.
I hope. And he gave him back hope in his life. It must be so crazy for Andy. Suddenly you see your best friend from prison showing up. Just, that's really great. That's really great. All right, The Shawshank Redemption. I can definitely see why people rate it as one of the best movies that they've seen. Because it feels like a lot happens. Like when he was going through the fields at the end of the movie, I was like, wow. It does feel like a long amount of time has passed. Because I was like thinking back to when they were tarring the roof, you know? It's like, wow, that happened so long ago, and it felt so long ago. So you really get the sense of these guys going through their lives and how it changes them and where they're at now. I am glad I've seen it. As I was going on, I kept seeing scenes that I could remember being like parodied elsewhere. Like his escape scene, I've seen that parodied. Like I said, in Recess, I believe, and I think Family Guy did a moment of it. So there were some things I was like, oh, okay, that's where that comes from in this. But ultimately, yeah, this was like, if it's like a feel-good movie, it's like a comfort movie. I can see this being somebody's comfort movie. I can understand that. I'm glad I finally got around to watching it. I love that movie. It's really good. Well, that was The Shawshank Redemption. What did you guys think of it? Let me know down in the comments. Head on over to my Patreon where you can get access to polls, early access, and full-length reactions. And as always, be able to tell me what other movies or TV shows I should react to in the future. But until next time, that's it.